Hi, I'm Gabriel Aldort with Yamaha. It's a pleasure to be here with Kraft Music, and today we're going to talk about the P-125 digital piano. The P-125 is the successor to the world's best-selling digital piano, the P-115. Now today we're showing the P-125 with the optional L-125 furniture-style stand and the LP1 triple pedal unit. And as always, you can get a great deal on these accessories by checking out some of the home bundles available at Kraft Music. Yamaha is the world leader in the manufacturing of musical instruments. As a matter of fact, 1 out of every 4 instruments sold in the world is a Yamaha. Now, we've been making acoustic pianos since the 1800s, and all that knowledge and experience has contributed to incredible instruments like the P-125. Now I'd like to talk about 2 of the most important features on any digital piano, and that is the touch and the tone of the instrument. And the P-125 is a new high watermark in both those areas. This instrument has a graded hammer standard action, which essentially means all 88 keys are weighted, as in an acoustic piano, and they're all graded, just like an acoustic piano. So the keys are heavier on the bottom and they get lighter as they go up. Now this authentically captures the feel of playing an acoustic grand piano. Now I'd like to talk about another incredibly important feature on any digital piano, and that is the tone, or the sounds of the instrument. Now, for the first time in the history of the P-Series, we have a new 4-layer pure CF sample. Now that means that we sample these pianos from our Yamaha acoustic CF series, so they're very faithfully recreated. Now the 4 levels essentially means that there's just more dynamics. So when you play pianissimo, that's 1 level, or forte, if you're playing really hard, that's another level, and then 2 in between to capture all the nuances that you would get from playing an acoustic grand piano. Now, in addition to the gorgeous new Pure CF acoustic piano samples, we've added a number of other new instrument voices, 24 to be precise. New instruments like electric pianos, strings, basses, and organs. There's a little something for everybody in here. Now, selecting instrument voices on the P-125 is a breeze. As you can see here, we have 6 different categories, all with different instruments. So we've got pianos, electric pianos, organs, clavinets and vibraphones, strings and basses. Now, each category has a main instrument voice, like you see here. On piano, this is the main Pure CF Concert Grand. Now, if I press the piano button again, I get my first variation, which is a live grand, which really cuts through. Now, if I want a nice warm grand, I just hit the piano button again, and there's variation 2. Okay, moving on. The second category are the electric pianos, and the main instrument voice here is based on a classic old Rhodes electric piano. Now, if I hit the electric piano button again, I get Yamaha's iconic DX7 electric piano voice. And moving on, the second variation would be a classic Wurlitzer. Now, this works for all the different instrument categories. So with organ, once again, you have your main voice. And the 3 different variations. Now, one feature that's very cool and very useful on the P-125 is the ability to layer 2 instruments together, any 2 instruments you'd like. In this case, I'm going to layer a CF Concert Grand piano with some beautiful strings. And all I have to do is just hold down one instrument voice, piano, and hit the other instrument, such as strings. Now, in addition to layering 2 voices together, you can also split the keyboard, which means you can have one instrument in the lower register and another instrument in the upper register, and any different combination of instruments you'd like to use. So in this example, I'm going to split the keyboard and have piano up here and acoustic bass down here so I can do some walking bass lines. Very easy. All you have to do is just select the sound that you want in the upper register, which is the piano in this case, and then just hit the plus bass button. Automatically, it splits the keyboard, and I have bass in the lower register, so I can have a little fun like this. Now, if you'd like to select an instrument voice other than bass for your left hand, simply hold down the plus bass button and hit any other instrument, such as electric piano. You can also adjust the split point very easily by simply holding down plus bass and hitting any key on the keyboard. Now, another exciting feature in the P-125 that has been inherited from our higher-end digital pianos is something called duo mode. It allows you to split the keyboard so you can have two of the same registers, so a teacher and a student can play together. And if you have the optional LP1 3-pedal unit, the left pedal will be sustained for the left register and the right pedal will be sustained for the right register. Now, to activate duo mode, it's as simple as holding down the piano button and hitting left and right simultaneously. Now, duo mode is engaged. Now, we've talked about selecting instrument voices. We've talked about layering and splitting, but one of the funnest things to do on a P-125 is to play along with the 20 included rhythms. There's even a dedicated rhythm button right here, so all I have to do is just hit that, and I'll get an intro, and then at the end, if I hit it again, I'll get an outro. Check this out. Another addition to the P-125 is the ability to bring in bass styles along with the 20 rhythms. So you can enable and disable this feature, which essentially means that the P-125 will track the chords you play and play a bass line along with those chords. So now I'm going to play the same rhythm, but I'm bringing in the bass accompaniment style. Check this out. Now, what if you want to capture your performance? Well, the P-125 has a dedicated record feature. You can have a split, a layer, a rhythm going. You simply hit record and it'll capture the entire performance. I'm simply going to just record some piano. All I have to do is just press that record button and start playing. Now, to listen back, I simply hit the play button. In addition, the recorder is a 2-track recorder, so you can record 2 different instruments, or you can record the left hand on one track and the right hand on another track. Incredibly useful feature. Now, in addition to the 20 rhythms and 20 bass styles, we have 50 classical music masterpieces that reside within the P-125. It's as easy as just selecting the song button and selecting one of the 50 classical masterpieces. You can also separate the left and right hand parts, which is an incredibly useful feature when you're trying to learn one of these classical music masterpieces. Now, for all you techies out there, you can use the included USB port to connect directly to your computer to use the P-125 in conjunction with music production software or lesson software. And now you can transmit audio over USB, which is incredibly useful. You can also use the USB port on the P-125 to connect to an iOS device, Android support coming soon, to utilize this incredible app, Smart Pianist. Now, connectivity is a breeze. All you need is a USB cable and this adapter. It's USB to Lightning, and you can get connected in no time. Now, I'm going to launch the Smart Pianist app, which is absolutely free on the iOS store. It's going to connect almost instantaneously. And now we're connected. So what does the Smart Pianist app do? Well, essentially, it puts the entire functionality of the P-125 into an elegant and easy-to-use, beautiful touchscreen display. So accessing instrument voices is a breeze. I simply select the grand piano, and as you can see right here, I've got grand piano, live grand, ballad grand. Here are the other instrument categories: electric pianos, organs, the clavichord, strings, and at any point, if I want to favorite a sound, I just select the star and I can go into my favorites bank for quick access to sounds that I love to play. Now, if I go back out, remember when we did layering and splitting? Well, it's really a breeze on the Smart Pianist app. Let's say I want to layer two voices together. I simply turn on layer, and here we are. Not only that, what if I want to change the volume of the strings in relation to the piano? I go into the gears here, and all I have to do is go to my mixer, and I have access to a mixing board for my different instrument voices. Now let's go back out here. What if I want to turn the layer off and create a split? It's as easy as engaging the left part, and there you go. Now, most of the features that I've showed you in the Smart Pianist app are available from the front panel of the P-125, but the app just makes it so much easier to access these features. It really makes it a breeze and enhances your workflow. Now, what are some other features that Smart Pianist allows you to access? Well, I can go in here and access the piano room, which is a feature that's on some of our higher-end digital pianos. So in here, I have access to being able to go in, change the touch curve of the piano, change the environment of the piano. So if I want to go into a concert hall or a chamber or a club, I can simulate these different environments. What if I want to crank up the reverb? Super easy. Very, very cool. Okay, now, in addition, I have master tuning, where I can tune the instrument. I can turn on the damper resonance. So a lot of other aspects of regulating or customizing your piano can be found within Piano Room. Now let's move on. Let's go back here to the main screen, where I showed you the voice selection. Another cool thing about the Smart Pianist app is the ability to capture what we call registrations. So what that does is I can take a piano, create a layer, maybe go in and change the volume of the strings, and now I want to save that as a preset. But in Yamaha language, it's a registration. I simply go into the registration icon, save current setting. I can name it if I want, okay? Gabriel, save, and there we go. Now, anytime I go back into the app, I can simply reload that registration, and it'll reload those settings for any combination of instruments that I have selected. Now let's move along to song mode. If I go into the menu here and I select song, remember when I talked about those 50 classical music masterpieces that reside within the P-125? Well, I can access them all very easily using the song mode. If I go to 50 classics here, you can see arrangements, and over here, original compositions. So if I select Prelude by J.S. Bach, which is the first one, and I select Done right here, boom, you see the score display, which is incredible. This is what makes this app so amazing. Now I can simply play the composition. You see the treble and the bass clef, everything's represented as it should be. Now, what if I just want to work on the right-hand part of this song? Well, I can disable the left-hand part and simply just hear the right-hand part, which is a great practice tool. Incredible, flexible, great for educators. Now, I'm going to go back here and show you one of the magic tricks that exists within Smart Pianist. I can access my iTunes music library, okay? Now, I'm going to pull up a song that I wrote, which is on iTunes. It's called Ain't Gonna Forget My Keys. This app can take any music you own in your iTunes music library and convert it to a chord chart, which is absolutely incredible. So I'm going to play this song. As you can see, it converted my song, which is audio, to chords.
When I was young and carefree, I meant be, oh, it was being me.
An incredible feature. Not only that, but I can change the tempo of the song in real time without changing the pitch, and I can transpose the audio without changing the tempo. This is very advanced stuff that's going on here. And this is one of the greatest features of the Smart Pianist app, is to be able to access actual songs in your iTunes music library that you've always wanted to play and have it convert them to a chord chart. Unbelievable stuff here. Now, earlier you saw me do a simple MIDI recording on the P-125, which is great, but with the Smart Pianist app, I can record in MIDI or audio. The Smart Pianist app allows you to record MIDI, so I can see my score display, which is great, or audio, either a WAV file, which is professional CD quality audio, or AAC, which is Apple's proprietary audio format. So here I'm going to select New Song, because I'm recording a new song, and all I have to do is hit the record button. Simply hit stop. Now let's listen back. Now I have the option to save this recording or try again. Now, the great thing about recording audio is that if I want to record something and send it to Grandma so she can listen to it, it's very easy to do that, and it all happens within my tablet. So there you have it, the Yamaha P-125, an incredible digital piano with a lot of enhanced features. If you have any questions, make sure to contact Kraft Music. And for a great deal, don't forget to check out the bundles at Kraft. I'm Gabriel Aldort. Thank you for joining me, and don't forget to practice.